Testosterone levels in men have dropped dramatically over the past few decades. Recent research from 2026 found that average testosterone levels today are over 50% lower than they were back in the early 1970s. I can't deny it, but it honestly makes sense. I've noticed it while training male clients, and it's just being part of the fitness space for years, you see a lot of that. A lot of guys are putting in the same work as guys who are shredded, but not getting the same results. And there's usually more going on than just training harder. I saw this play out in my own life. When I first started lifting, I was working at a warehouse job that had me up at 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. every morning. I was training, I was eating right, but my progress was still slow and stagnant. The moment I quit that job though and started actually getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, my whole fitness journey changed. I was training the same and eating the same diet. The only thing that changed was my sleep. That got me digging into what actually helps you build your physique, because it's not just sleeping. There's a handful of things that matter, and most guys are only doing one or two of them. So let's go through them, starting with the one that made the biggest difference for me. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours has made a huge difference for me personally. When I was at Costco as a stalker, I was averaging maybe 4 to 5 hours a night, sometimes even less. I was practically killing myself doing that every night of the week. I was working out 5 times a week with all combat movements and strength training, but I wasn't really progressing. Physique wise and strength numbers were kind of stalling out. Once I got a new job and got out of that situation and started sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night, my strength and recovery took off. When I tell you I feel completely different, I truly did. My cognitive function was better, my strength numbers rose, and I finally started seeing my physique that I truly was proud of and I enjoyed. And it's not just my personal experience, there's actual research behind this. Studies have shown that even 1 week of cutting your sleep down to around 5 hours a night can measurably lower your testosterone. Most of your hormone production happens during deep sleep, so if you're constantly cutting that short, you're already behind before you even step foot into the gym. If you fix one thing after watching this video, I urge you to make it this: work on your sleep. Everything else on this list works better once your sleep is locked in. Is resistance training, and specifically lifting heavy weights, doing compound movements like squats, deadlifts, bench press, and rows. This is one where the research and practical experience line up together. Training with heavier compound lifts creates a bigger hormonal response than compared to isolation work or just doing cardio. It's part of why a lot of guys switch from just doing cardio to actually lifting heavy weights, because they notice a huge difference not just in how they look, but in energy levels and recovery too. The key here is that you don't need some overcomplicated program. Consistency with big lifts, progressive overload over time, and challenging yourself in the gym is what matters. I've built my own training around a 4-day split with heavy compound lifts each week, and that consistency is a big part of why my numbers have kept climbing. So if your current routine is mostly just machines or cardio, this might be the best thing to add to your routine. Pick a few compound lifts and make them the main focus of your week. Next is body composition, and specifically carrying excess body fat. Excess body fat tissue converts testosterone into estrogen through a process called aromatization. So the more excess fat you're carrying, especially around your midsection, the more your testosterone is going to get converted into estrogen rather than doing its job. This doesn't mean you need to get shredded or obsess over the numbers on the scale. It just means getting a healthier body fat percentage through consistent training and a reasonable diet is going to support your hormone levels naturally. It's one of those things where the other factors on this list, like training and sleep, feed into building your body composition. Better sleep and consistent lifting make it easier to manage your body composition, and that in turn supports better testosterone levels. So this isn't really a separate action item as much as it is as a result of doing the other things properly. Next up is nutrition. Specifically making sure you're eating enough protein and healthy fats. This one trips a lot of guys up, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Being too big of a caloric deficit for too long can tank your testosterone because your body starts treating it like a stress signal rather than just fat loss. So if you're cutting, it's worth doing it gradually instead of just cutting so many calories down drastically. Fats are also super important. Your body needs dietary fat to produce testosterone in the first place. Going too low on fat for too long isn't doing you any favors. Getting enough protein supports muscle repair and recovery, which ties back into everything else we've already covered with training. So it's ideal that you hit your protein goal every single day. Specifically, grams to 1 gram of protein per body weight every day really helps a lot. The takeaway here isn't some crazy diet, it's just eating enough, prioritizing protein, not fearing healthy fats, and not staying in an extreme deficit for months at a time. But now, if you've been doing all of this, sleeping well, training hard, managing your body composition, eating right, and you're still dealing with low symptoms of testosterone, that's when it might be worth talking to a doctor about getting blood work done and looking into something like TRT. It's not the first option, but it's there if you need it, after you put the work on the natural side first. But for most guys, the truth is you don't need testosterone. You need to actually dial in the basics, the foundations. And that's what I help people do. If you're serious about getting stronger and leaner and just feeling like yourself again, that's the kind of work we do with my clients. If you're interested, click the link in the description if you want to take that next step. Thanks for watching today's video, and make sure to subscribe for more.